Hello everyone, welcome to the DevOps Planet. In this video, we will see how we can launch AWS RDS instance using Terraform. So for this, I have already written a Terraform script. So this is the my public repo where you can find the Terraform code. You can find the URL of this repo in the description of this video. So I have already cloned this repo on my local system. So first let me explain you that what are the code I have written here and what are these files. So firstly, we have main.tf file. This is the main file of the Terraform where I am writing that what resource I want to create using Terraform. So as you can see, I am creating two resources here. One is security group and the second one is DB instance. So in the security group, I am passing the security group name and description and the other values. And also I am creating an inbound rule here that is ingress for port number 3306. Because MySQL RDS by default worked on port number 3306, so I am allowing this port in my security group. The second resource which I am creating here is AWS RDS. So these are the different parameters and values of the AWS RDS instance. So for example, the allocated storage I am allocating is 30 GB. The identifier is this is the name of the DB instance, and DB name is the name of the database which will be created inside the DB instance. Here I am passing the DB engine, that which DB I want to create. It would be MySQL, PostgreSQL or other. Here I am passing the engine version. Here I am passing the RDS instance type. So basically the size of the RDS, it could be T2 micro or in X large or large in other categories. Here I am passing the credentials for the RDS, the username and password. I am allowing it public accessible true because we are going to access it outside of the AWS VPC. Here I am passing the parameter group name, so I am using the default one. Here is another parameter that is escape final snapshot. I am passing it true because when we delete this RDS using the Terraform, at that time if we don't want to create a final snapshot of the RDS, in that case we need to pass it true, otherwise false. And here I am linking my security group ID to this AWS RDS instance. So here you can see this is a list parameter. The security group ID is a list parameter. That's why I have closed this in the bracket and written like this. So now there is another file that is variables.tf. So in this file we declared all the variables which we have used in the main.tf file. So whatever the variables we have passed here, all these variables are declared in the variables.tf file. Apart from this, there is another file that is provider.tf. So currently we are creating the AWS resources. So our provider is AWS. And we have an output.tf file. In the output.tf file, I have written that what I want to print the Terraform once the DB instance creation is done. So here I am printing the endpoint, that is the host name of my RDS instance. And there is a file terraform.tf. In this file, I am passing all the required variables. So if I am missing any variable here, then it will read the default value. So let's suppose if I remove this security group name from here, in that case, it will read the default security group name, that is this one. So now to execute the Terraform script, first I need to configure the AWS CLI. So for that I have already created one video. You can see that video and find the URL of this video in this video description. So let me check that my CLI is configured or not. So I'm just listing the buckets. So it means that my CLI is configured. Now to create the resources, 3 commands which we need to execute. First is Terraform init. So this command will download all the required plugins and modules which I have used in my main.tf file. So as you can see, the provider is AWS, so it is installing those things. Similarly, if we are going to use other provider, it will install those plugins and all. So once the installation is complete, then we can tell the Terraform that please tell me the plan that what resource you will create. So for this, there is another command. So let this one complete. Yeah, so the initialization has been complete. Now the second command, which is Terraform plan. So this command basically gave us a brief idea that what resources will be created, what will be the values. So it's just for a verification so that we can verify that it is creating all the resources whether according to our expectations or not. So if we found anything wrong in the output of this command, we can configure those things in our code files respectively. So if we want to change any resource name, or if we want to add any other resource, or if we want to change the size of the DB, the type of the DB, all those things we can see here and we can change respectively. Okay, so as you can see that it has given me the output that it will create a security group and it will create this rule inside this rule inside the security group, and similarly it will create the database. So it has picked up the values from my terraform.tf vars file. That engine will be MySQL, the version will be 5.7. This is the size of the instance which I have passed in my terraform.tf vars file. So all these values has been written here and it is reading from there. So now the final command which I am going to execute here is terraform apply. So this command will again give us a plan that what resources it will create, and it will ask whether to continue or not. So only the yes is acceptable. If we are passing any value other than yes, it will treat that value as no. So let me show you how that works. Okay, so I press the enter, so apply has been cancelled. So let me trigger this command again, and meanwhile we can see the plan which has been given by the terraform apply command. So as you can see, it is almost same as the plan command. So it is telling us again that what resources it will create. So that is how we can again verify the things. And if we see something wrong here, we can change and again we can execute this terraform apply command. So it will prompt for a value like this, and you see it shows us that only yes will be accepted here. Other than anything, it will treat it as no. Last time I press enter, so it cancelled the apply. Okay, so I am passing the yes here and pressing enter. Now it will start resource creation part. So it has started the resource creation part. Firstly, it is creating the security group as we have configured in our main.tf file. Okay, it has failed because access denied. So my user AWS CLI don't have access to create the RDS. So first let me fix this issue. So let me go to the IAM service and add this policy to create the RDS with my user. So for this we need to go to the IAM service. Here click on the users, and this is my user AWS-CLI. Click on this name, and in the permission click on add permissions, attach policy directly, and I am giving the RDS full access. So Amazon RDS full access, next, and add permissions. So now this user has the access to create the RDS. So I am triggering this command again. And one more thing, if you don't want to prompt it for yes, then there is an option that will automatically approve this command, and you need not to pass the yes parameter. So for this, the parameter is --auto approve. So by this, it will not ask for yes. So if you are confident enough that it will create valid resources and based on your requirement, then you can pass this parameter. And also this is very helpful parameter when you are setting the pipeline or you are automating these things. So meanwhile, we see that it has created the RDS earlier. So this time it will skip this, earlier it created the security group. So this time it will skip the security group and it will create the RDS. We can see the same thing. So see in the output, it just refresh the stage of the security group. It refresh the stage of the security group, and now in the plan we can see it will only create the RDS instance. Earlier we get that it will create the security group, but the security group has already created and it automatically fetch the ID of the security group also. So now it is starting the created the RDS. So the same thing we can verify on the console itself. So in the AWS console, if I refresh the security group page, okay, let me change the reason that is not Virginia. Yeah. So we can see the security group is here. And if I select this security group and see the inbound rules, I can see one rule has been added here. That is done by the Terraform. Similarly for the RDS, let me change the reason. So you can see the DB creation has been started. It is currently in creation in mode, and we have the DB identifier. That is the name of our instance, which we passed in the terraform.tf state file. This is the identifier. So this will take almost 5 to 6 minutes to be done. So I'm pausing this video. Our RDS instance has been created successfully, and it took almost 5 minutes to be done. And now here we have the endpoint of that newly created DB. So the same we can verify in the console itself. So our RDS is in the available stage now. And now let me log in into this RDS. So we already have the username and password for this database, and here is the endpoint. So I'm using the same. So the command is MySQL -u, the username -p -h. -h is for the host name, so I'm passing the host name here. Press enter, it will prompt for the password. So the password we have in the terraform.tf words file, so I'm copying it and pasting it. So we have successfully logged in inside the database. Now let me list the DBs, that what are the databases here. So we can see the test DB. So this is the DB which has been created by the Terraform itself. So that is how we can launch or we can create our RDS instance using the Terraform. And if you want to delete or destroy this instance, again the Terraform. So the command is Terraform destroy. So it will show us that what resources it will destroy, and also it will ask for the confirmation. So again the yes is acceptable, other values will be treated as no. It will give us a plan also. So let me show you that. Taking some time. So it is reading the resources, the RDS and security group, because these are the two resources which we created using Terraform. So here you can see the red marks. Basically it is saying that this resource will be destroyed and this resource will be destroyed. And again it is asking for the prompt, so I'm canceling it. Okay, and if you don't want to prompt here, so again the parameter is --auto -approve. So it will again give us the plan and it automatically approve that. We need not to pass the yes there, and it will delete the resources. So it will take some time to fetch the data, and then again it will start the deleting the resources. Okay, it is reading the data. Now it will print the plan and start the resource deletion automatically because we have auto approve it. Okay, so it print the plan, and this time it is not prompt for any confirmation, and it is destroying the resources. So the RDS destruction is started, and the same we can verify on the AWS console. So if I refresh this page, it is showing me deleting. So it will take almost 5 to 6 minutes. So that is how we can create the RDS and destroy the RDS using the Terraform. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this.